Employment-based immigrant visas or EB visas help you immigrate through a US employer who intends to hire you. In this way, you can live and work in US permanently. There are many benefits to getting this visa, but keep in mind that 140,000 EB visas are issued each year. This means that not all eligible people can get a visa and the processing time is a bit long. Hi, this is Max from the Visa Library. In this video, I will focus on the US EB2 visas and discuss their requirements, the application process, costs, priority date, and so much more. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, now is the time to do it. We publish 3 new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe. Like the video too, and let us begin. What are the requirements for an EB2 visa? We have 3 categories. Number 1, advanced degree holders. You must have a bachelor's or master's degree and must have 5 years of work experience in your field. You need evidence such as official academic record confirming that you have a US high-level degree or a foreign equivalent qualification, or an official academic record providing that you have a US bachelor's degree or an equivalent degree, and letters from your previous or current employers determining that you have at least 5 years of work experience in your specialty. Number 2, people with exceptional abilities. You must have a special ability in science, art, or business. The level of your ability should be higher than what ordinarily is found. You need to meet requirements specified in the labor certificates as required. Number 3, national interest waiver. You must be able to prove that working in the US is in the national interest. You must have exceptional abilities or show that your employment in the US has a significant impact on national interests. In this category, you do not need an employer or a sponsor. Therefore, you must apply directly to the USCIS for labor certification and submit Form I-140. As an EB2 visa applicant, you must meet at least 3 of the EB2 visa criteria. Let's see. Number 1, you must provide an academic degree, diploma, or certificate issued by a college, school, institution, or university relating to your area of outstanding ability. Number 2, you need to provide a letter that shows your 10 years of full-time experience in your profession. Number 3, you need to provide practice for your profession or certificate for your profession or job. Number 4, you need to show that you have a high income in your previous job position because of your exceptional abilities. Number 5, if you're a member of a professional association, provide related documents. Number 6, evidence that you have recognition for your achievements and contribution in your field of expertise by your peers, government entities, professional or business organizations. Yeah, that's it. Here's a question. What are the eligibility conditions for the employer? If an employer intends to hire you, as a foreign employee, they should satisfy certain conditions. Number 1, they have to prove that they have not been able to find a qualified American employee and therefore have to hire a foreign employee. Number 2, they must also show that they are in compliance with labor laws in terms of wages and working conditions, and the salary and benefits of a foreign worker will be equal to a US worker in similar situations. Number 3, the company must have financial stability and be able to pay the offered salary. The employer must submit the Form I-140 to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services or USCIS. You do not need a sponsor or employer if you apply for a national interest waiver. Instead, you must file Form I-140 yourself. Your employer must be able to prove that he or she will continuously pay the offered salary. To prove this, the employer can send proof such as annual report, federal income tax returns, or audited financial statements. Here's another question. How to apply for a US EB2 visa? First, let's talk about the steps the employer takes. Step 1. Submitting a petition to the DOL. The employer must first acquire a labor certification issued by the US Department of Labor or DOL. For this purpose, they need to complete and submit Form ETA 750. Submitting this form proves that the employer could not find the intended worker among US citizens. DOL will take some time to process the application. If the labor certification is issued, the employer can submit its application to the USCIS. Rejection of the application means that the employer is not allowed to hire a foreign worker. Step 2. Submitting a petition to the USCIS. The employer must first complete Form I-140 and then submit it to the USCIS along with financial statements, audits, and tax returns. Submitting these documents proves that the employer can afford to pay the offered salary continuously and the company is financially stable. The USCIS evaluates the request and notifies the employer of the results. If the appeal is approved, the file will be sent to the National Visa Center or NVC to be assigned a file number and an invoice ID number. A package containing instructions on applying for an EB2 visa will be sent to you in your home country. However, remember that the number of EB2 visa issued every year is limited, so this package will only be given to those whose priority date becomes current. Now, let's talk about the steps the employee takes. Step 1. Complete Form DS-260. You must complete the Form DS-260. This form is processed by the embassy where you are applying. Visit the website of the Consular Electronic Application Center or CEAD to access this form and how to complete it. You can access the form by your case number. After completing the form, a confirmation page will appear that you must keep. Step 2. Perform medical examinations and vaccinations. The NVC package mentioned in the previous section provides information and requirements for medical examinations. At this step, you should see a certified physician to complete some forms and documents. Step 3. Prepare your documents. Let's see. Number 1, a valid passport. Number 2, employment letter written by the U.S. employer. Number 3, the approved labor certification. Number 4, confirmation page of Form DS-260. Number 5, medical examination documents signed by the authorized physician. Number 6, 2 photos. 7, academic degrees and your resume. 8, a letter written by previous employers. 9, if you intend to apply for a national interest waiver, you must provide evidence that your work is in the national interest of the US. Number 10, any other documents. Step 4, participate in the interview. NVC will first check your documents and schedule an appointment at the embassy if you do not need to submit another document. The interview is at the US Embassy. The consular officer will ask questions about the purpose of your trip to the United States. After the interview, a final decision is made on whether or not to grant you a visa. Step 5. Get another NVC package and go to the US. If your visa application is approved, you will receive another package from NVC. You cannot open this package. Instead, you should take it with you to the United States and give it to the immigration officers. Ultimately, they decide whether you are allowed to enter the United States or not. Now, here's a question. How much does it cost to get a US EB2 visa? Both you and your employer must pay for some expenses. The amount of these costs varies. But in general, the employer must pay for the application fee for a labor certification from the US Department of Labor and the filing of Form I-140 to the USCIS. You must pay for Form I-260 processing, medical examination, and translation of your documents into English. Another question. How long is the US EB2 visa processing time? Since a limited number of EB2 visas are issued annually, the processing time for this visa is a bit long. On average, visa applicants have to wait for 1 to 4 years to be informed of their application outcome. That's a lot. Can EB2 visa holders bring their family members to the United States? Yes. As a US EB2 visa holder, you can bring your spouse and unmarried children under 21 to the United States. Your spouse must apply for an E-21 visa, and an E-22 visa is for your children. That was it. Now you can go and apply for an EB2 visa with ease. I have a surprise for you. Since the steps and requirements of this visa were too many, I've made a cheat sheet for you to avoid confusion. Go to our article about this visa on our website and get it. Link is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so that you can stay notified every time we make new videos. You can also follow our social media accounts. Thank you all for watching.